I'm back at the trout stream today. I've got the sun in my eyes, so I'm not quite sure. I'm probably grimacing a bit here. Anyway, back at the trout stream. This is my second visit to this particular part of the stream. I'm starting off here in the swim where I caught a chub, the first chub I caught on my first visit, and I'm going to work down. I'm more or less at the end of the stream anyway. I'd forgotten how far it was to walk, absolutely shattered. But anyway, I'm going to start here, see what we can get, if anything, and work my way down. There's 2 or 3 other spots, but there's a bit more water in the stream today, and I'm hoping perhaps that I passed a few spots on the way down that when I came the first time didn't look too promising, but today look a bit more promising. So I'll work through these few swims at this end and see how I get on. And having, as usual, I don't expect to get more than 1 fish out of each swim, if that. So once I've worked through those, I may make my way back, and as I make my way back, have a dip into some of the other spots. Cool, this sun, that's the trouble this time of the year when it's sunny. The sun is so low, absolutely terribly bright. Anyway, let's get fishing. I'll put the head cam on so you can see what's happening and see how we go. I'm on the head cam now, so just about to start. It's windy again. It's always windy, but the head cam seems to cope with the wind better than the other, well, certainly better than the iPhone. I in the last video I mentioned I'd got a lead to connect to my iPhone that allowed me to have the mic just under my chin, so to speak, and that picked up the wind, as you would have possibly noticed in the last video. Not too badly, but it did. So I bought myself one of these sort of furry mufflers for it, which you may have noticed in the intro. Anyway, I've got a bit of bread flake on, all set up, so we'll see how we go. I've got the Shimano Aero X1 again, my new light, oh, that wasn't a very good cast, was it? Right, let's need to be a bit further out than that. Had a lot of rain yesterday, an awful lot of rain, and some last night, and the stream is definitely up a bit. Still not happy with this cast. I wanted to get much further over. I think something's catching on the reel. It seems to be, as the line comes off, you can hear it sort of snagging a bit. No, I'm not happy where that bait is. I'm going to put another bit of bread on and let's have a look, see what it looks like. Oh no, it looks okay. I need to get out a bit further. That's much better. I don't know what was happening with the first casts. Of course, all because this worked last time at this spot doesn't mean to say it'll work this time. That's interesting. Definitely fish out there. Just broke the surface. Perhaps there's a pike in the area, which would obviously put everything else off. It's quite cold again today. The weather seems to be going between wet and relatively warm for this time of the year, to dry and quite chilly, with wind most of the time. So it's no, it's not going to produce quickly today, is it? I've mentioned before I follow some Facebook pages, and there was fishing Facebook pages, obviously, and there was a query on one of them this morning. Someone had joined a club and was asking the best spots for chub, and looking at the comments, one of them was saying, well, there's not really much happening at the moment, but you know, gave a couple of suggestions, but basically, as I think I mentioned last time on the last video, the comments lately seem to be that it's quite tough going fishing. There are, of course, exceptions. There are people on these pages showing £6 chub and what have you, but many of those, the photos are taken in the dark, so I guess they are fishing into the dusk, which is obviously always a bit more likely to get you a big chub than fishing in the middle of the day in the bright sunshine. But yeah, I'm not sure this spot's going to work today. Oh well, a couple more places to try. I'll stop the video again. As I say, I want to try and not run out of video battery today, if I can. But these slow days tend to use up the the battery, because if you're sort of dropping in and getting a chub fairly quickly, obviously you don't need a lot of video footage, but when you're playing the waiting game, it soon gets used up. Right, I may move to the next spot, because my feeling is if there was a chub down there he would have obliged by now, so I'll have a move and see how we get on in the next spot. When I fished this spot last time, I was sort of up to my knees in nettles, and I fished it standing up because it was absolutely, there were nettles in front of me, and I just poked the rod over the top of the nettles, and obviously someone's come and done a bit of a clearance job, because it's not like that now. Anyway, let's see how we get on. Oh dear. Helps if you take the bail arm off, doesn't it? Too much chatting and not enough concentration. I actually caught a chub in this spot last time, and I lost one, so I had two good bites in this spot last time, but that was last time. This is always the problem, of course, when you film your fishing exploits. You can't guarantee anything. I always remember reading many years ago when think it was a BBC. Well, it must have been a BBC. There weren't many other things around in those days. We're going to film Richard Walker carp fishing, and if I recollect correctly, the director kept coming down and asked him, when's he going to catch this fish? When's he going to catch this fish? Yeah. That was when, of course, catching a carp was probably arguably a lot more difficult than it is now. Wow. Not looking too promising. Of course, the other factor is, since I was here last time, this swim is now obviously fished a lot more, or at least some more. I was sort of ploughing through nettles to get here last time, and I got the feeling I was probably one of the very few who had actually stuck their rod over the nettles and given the swim a try. But now it obviously shows all the signs of being quite well used. So chub are not silly. I've just changed to cheese paste, which has obviously got a bit of a more of an attracting sort of quality to it than bread flake, if the water is a bit coloured down there, and cast a little bit further downstream. But I'm starting to have a few negative thoughts today. Oops, that was me. If chub are around, they're usually quick to make themselves known, but I've not had even a tremor, not a touch. This is the last sort of fishable spot that you can easily get to the bank on this stream before the stream joins the river again. Last time I was here I didn't even come down to look because there was a swan sitting here with her cygnets and or his cygnets, I'm not sure which it was, but it obviously wouldn't have been very happy about me being down there. But it's a lovely swim, isn't it? I mean, say if I had looked at it last time I might have been tempted to bring a trotting rod today rather than a feeder rod, because, well, not a feeder rod, a ledger rod. By the way, I had to re-tackle at the last swim. I was a bit too adventurous. I cast over to the far side and cast a bit too far and lost all my tackle. So, right, there's quite a few sort of interesting spots to fish here. There's a fastest, it's not that fast actually, but there's a bit of a crease down this near side, so let's see how we get on. This is obviously a popular spot, quite rightly so looking at it. I may sit here for a while because there's quite a lot of water to cover even if I don't get anything immediately. Lovely and sheltered as well. Must be, it's literally at the farthest end of the stream, so it's the furthest walk from where I parked the car. Must be a good mile and a half to here, if not a bit more. Yeah, with a float you could really sort of explore the swim. Problem is, of course, when you've got a swim like this with quite a lot of open water, it's not easy to know, you know, where the chub would be lying. As I say, it's quite fast going down the middle of the stream, but there's a bit of an eddy here, and I'm just trying to get on the edge of the crease between the faster water and the slacker water. It's quite a deep sort of just below my feet here, but obviously be pretty lucky to pull a chub out under your rod top. I'll probably continue on the basis that if there's a chub in range it will take quite quickly, in which case I'll try casting at various points and yeah, I could imagine trotting down here with a float would be absolutely brilliant. My luck, if I came with a trotting rod, there'd be someone here. It's the only sort of downside of this roaming fishing. You know, you come with minimum tackle. And you know, you don't come with a wheelbarrow full, as they say. So you haven't got a choice of rods and reels and what have you. Although I now know about this, I didn't know about it before because I didn't look at this swim when I was here the first time. Right, let's try going over the other side and letting it roll over. See if that. I'm still quite worried. There's a lot of weed on the bottom that may be obscuring the bait. I've been trying various spots in this swim, near side, far side, midstream, even over opposite me there in that slack. But absolutely not a tremor on the rod top. Last week was bad, but I think today might well turn out to be a blank. There just seems no activity at all. This cast, this is my latest idea. I've cast well down into the centre of the stream where it narrows there. So well away from where I'm sitting, but absolutely nothing. This really, this is not encouraging at all. Okay, I'll be back when I'm somewhere else or when I'm catching something. Well, this looks interesting, if a bit tricky. I'll probably end up getting snagged up in the trees or something, but obviously people fish here, so be careful not to slip over again. I've already slipped over once. Well, yeah, this is a well prepared spot, isn't it? Yes, this looks very interesting, if more than a bit tricky. Tricky. extremely tricky to fish. I think in the summer with these reeds here it's almost impossible, but trees either side, obviously in the summer they will have leaves on. I've just managed to cast out into midstream there, and perhaps the flow will bring it round towards that. Not sure if it's a raft or a reed bank, to be honest. But up to now there's been no interest, so very sheltered here, out of the wind. As I say, in summer I think you need a machete to get in here. No, I think I need to start making my way back. I've actually walked up the stream a bit further, having said I'll be walking back. I was walking up towards those swims on the branch of the main river, and as I walked up there I glanced over and saw this. So I thought I'll give it a go. But yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? So I think I'll start making my way back. I've got a long walk back. I'll just drop off in a couple of places perhaps. Just for a few minutes in each, just to see if there's anything moved in, or, but I'm not too hopeful. Well, I'm right at the beginning of the stretch here, about 30 yards from the gate where you come in, and I thought I'd just give this spot a try before I pack up and go home. Never fished this spot before, but we'll see what happens. It's turned into a lovely late afternoon. Oh, that was a touch on the rod, I'm sure. Don't tell me I've walked miles down the stream and I'm going to get my first bite here right near the entrance. I am, and I. What a lot of old rubbish this is. Mind you, it may be little fish just pulling at the float, but that's unbelievable, isn't it? I've walked right down the full length of the stream, not had a touch. And then, Jesus Christ, I come to right to the beginning and I'm in straight away. You would not credit fishing, would you? Trouble is, I haven't got a long enough rod to keep them out these reeds, so I'm probably going to lose them anyway. Ah! Ah, come on you. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, dear. He's quite a good fish as well. I'm sort of just muscling him through. Oh, he just wants to get in, doesn't he? I can't get it. I don't want to fall in the river. Wow, would you absolutely Adam and Eve it? Jesus, that is a good fish. Yeah. Well, I do not believe it. I walk bloody miles, and this is right at the beginning of the stretch. Well, well, at least it's not a blank. I was lucky to get that in. Didn't have a length of rod really to keep it out the reeds. Fortunately the reeds all dying off at this time of the year, so see what you weigh. Well, that's interesting because 3.68, and the last time I weighed this net it was 0.7. So I think we can call that a 3 pound chub. Right, I'll just put him back in the water and for a while I'll take a better picture of him. Super duper, 3 pounds, super fish. Right, we've got to put you back now. Fishing's a strange old sport, you know. I tried all the spots where I caught chub on my last visit and not a touch. And I've come up to this swim here, which I didn't really spot the first time I was here. And it's right up at the beginning of the stretch, just as you come in. I get a bite fairly quickly and end up with a 3 pound or shade under 3 pound perhaps chub. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Eh? Just absolutely ridiculous. Well, my fragile little finesse feeder, I wasn't really paying much attention to what the rod was doing while I was trying to get that fish in, but I was giving it a bit of welly through the reeds there, and it seems to be in one piece still, so I was probably being a bit hopeful to get a second fish, but I didn't cast out quite as far that time. You can see I'm using a massive great lump of flake just to attract a massive chub, although it doesn't always work that way, of course. In fact, it looks bigger than it is because it all fluffs up in the water. I'll give it another 10 minutes or so here. Half hour past me packing up time already, but it's a good job I didn't pack up. Excuse my sniffles. I've had a cold and my nose is still a bit sniffly, and cold weather seems to make it worse. Yeah, I think that might be my only fish from here, but it certainly is it certainly meant I ended on a high. It's a bit like last week, really. Although I lost a couple of fish last week before I finally landed one, but I didn't get a bite here today until I come to this spot. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, it might be a good point to say cheerio, really. As I say, I'm not going to stay much longer. I've done a lot of walking today. I'm a bit shattered. So if you got this far, I hope you got this far, because you will have seen the fish. If you watched just the beginning, well, you wouldn't be here if you just watched the beginning, so that's nonsense, isn't it? But anyway, if you got this far, you saw the fish, that was good. And thank you for watching. And as always, at this point, I'll say bye for now, and cheers.